keep your heads, hands and children firmly inside the boat at all times. And the final word I legally have to tell you, please do not get off the boat without permission from the crew. Thank you. And for those of you who may not be aware, we will eventually be crossing the tallest aqueduct in the UK, and one side does not have any railings. So the first time we go across, it is the side on the right without them. Great if you're taking pictures, maybe not so great if you're not too keen on heights. So if you are that way inclined, I would recommend looking towards the left. And on that cheerful note, if any of you have any questions or queries throughout the trip, please feel free to ask. But until then, I hope you enjoy the rest of the journey. Thank you. The drop's about to get much worse, I promise. So, here we are on Pontcysyltte's Pontcysyllte Aqueduct. Say the name again slowly. Pontcysyllte Aqueduct, which took 10 years to build from 1795 to 1805 at a cost of £47,000, which in today's money is a little under 5 million. The river we're about to cross is the River Dee that starts life at the other side of Bala Lake, makes its way down through Llangollen and Chester to reach the sea to form the other side of the Wirral. The aqueduct is one of 3 bridges at this end of the valley, the oldest of which is the little bridge crossing the river to the right, which is a 16th century bridge built on a 13th century model that gives the area its place name Pontcysyllte, which in English translates to the bridge at the connecting point. So as the name suggests, it was one of the few ways that people could cross the river at this end of the valley, with the alternative being at Llangollen, which is a couple of miles upstream. The youngest and tallest of the 3 bridges is rather well camouflaged in the noon light. It is towards the left-hand side and is the Kevin Mawr Railway Viaduct that was finished being built in 1848. It still carries the main line from Chester to Shrewsbury even to this day. But the aqueduct itself, to rattle through the statistics, is 1,007 feet long and 11 foot 7 wide, allowing a little over 7 foot for a boat and 4 foot for a horse to walk alongside, because in those days all of the transportation across this bridge would have been horse-drawn. And when we're above the river, which is the highest point, the height is 126 feet 8 inches. Or 38 metres if you would rather hear a slightly lower number. The aqueduct stands on 18 pillars of local stone that were brought down from the hills around. The bricks were dressed on site and held together with a mortar that was strengthened with ox blood and lime. The trough we're travelling in is made out of individual pieces of cast iron created at the foundries at Kevin Mawr and Trevor, owned by William Hazeldine. The pieces were brought up here, bolted together, and then made watertight with a gasket of Welsh flannel dipped in boiling sugar, which was then finished off with lead. So yes, you did hear me correctly. It's always good to know when you're on top of the tallest aqueduct in the UK, it's being held together with caramel. Now there were a number of reasons why the aqueduct and the surrounding canal were built, but the main reason was that it was going to form a much longer network between Bristol and Liverpool, connecting 3 major rivers, the Mersey, the Dee and the Severn. Unfortunately though, the war against Napoleon rather scuppered the plans for the canal system, and to give you an idea of the timeline, the aqueduct opened just a month after the Battle of Trafalgar in the October of 1805. This unfortunately meant that the majority of the funding went towards the war effort instead, and the canal itself came to an abrupt end just back by our base. With the little money they did have left, they needed to find a water source, so it was Thomas Telford, in his infinite wisdom, who decided to continue the canal through Llangollen towards Pontcysyllte and built what we now know as the Horseshoe Falls, an engineered waterfall that diverts water away from the River Dee into the canal system, pumping in at a rate of 13 million gallons of water a day. The water was originally used around parts of Cheshire for crop irrigation, but to this day they still use the water around Nantwich and Crewe for the mains, as we have a continuous running supply of clean Welsh river water. But as well as the water, there was a variety of trade that would have been transported across the canal network in its heyday. From the side of the valley we've come from, it was known for its red brick, coal and ironwork, and the side we're travelling to now was known for its limestone, all of which would have been shipped across the country and in few rare occurrences around the world. And for no particular reason, now that we're about to leave the aqueduct, I thought I should mention the great thing about these boats is they are essentially big bumper cars on water, so they can withstand the occasional knock or scrape, although we do try not to make a habit of it. It's only if you see yourself looking worried is when you need to panic. So there we go, that's just a really quick whistle-stop tour of the aqueduct's history. If any of you have any further questions, or if you'd like me to repeat anything at all, or attempt to give you a quick Welsh lesson on how to say Pontcysyllte, then please feel free to let me know. Thank you. Sorry to let you know. But a perfect example of that bright red brick can be found in the two houses on the left-hand side, and the red brick was used in cities like Liverpool, Cardiff and Chester.
Yeah, that's I know there's a castle called Cardiff
No, it's alright, you carry on. Right. Just going to squeeze back.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's what I said. It got a nice reciprocal.
Well, he's still sat there now. He's still sat there.
Yeah, Jan was doing all the work.
Yeah, she's sat there.
Oh, she's sat, Jenny.
Yeah, they'll climb in if someone asks them for something. Don't blame them for sitting out there today.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful there this morning.
I can think of worse ways to make money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, I'll leave you to it. Thank you. Otherwise I will just keep talking at you. Thank you. And any other questions down this end of the boat? You all right? Yes.
and that's the boat I was
Got a parrot as a pet, and sometimes the parrot needs some fresh air, like we all do. So they've just put it in like a little travel cage.
It's not a pirate then.
Not quite a pirate, no. Although I wouldn't be surprised for some of the people on this canal. They're definitely more hippie than pirate, but... Hello, good afternoon. You enjoying yourself? Right then, so you've been around the cities. Thank you. So which one do you have to
Just trying to see whether you get that far up.
There it is. Way over there. You see it over there, look, that's really way over there. The archery. Yeah, you can see the trains go on that one. I don't know, I'm just looking around. Lovely day for a dose of quiet.
Excellent.
Thank you.